Is this better? Thank you, Chuck. Is this better? Can you hear me now? Oh, maybe I need to turn on a microphone. No, I think I have a microphone. As I said, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Let me check my sound. Can I be heard now? Oh. Let me see here. I told you if something's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong. You all have to tell me if you can still hear me. Yes, no, maybe so. Is there a delay? Laptop fans. Oh, I can't help with the laptop fans. Okay, but at least you can hear me. So yay. Let's do this. Mute me. Okay, well, I guess this is as loud as you're going to get me for now. I tried to have the mic plugged in, but that wasn't working. So I'll just try to talk louder. Okay, so hi again. Welcome to the basement. As I was saying when you couldn't hear me, this is 2 years that I've had this channel. I didn't think I was going to do a reaction video channel, but here we am, and it has blown up. I've been watching shows I didn't think I'd ever watch. I'm in parts of the world I never thought I would be in front of, and that all has to do with you. So I wanted to take a moment to say thank you so very much for being with me on this journey and to answer any questions you may have, tell you what I'm working on now, what I'm going to be working on in the future. So Ratchet, thank you. Hi, Chuck, Dimitri, Kenneth, thank you, Kenneth. I am so excited to be here. And so what do I have going on right now in the near future? We're going to finish up The Last of Us within the next week. That last episode, y'all, that last episode. Speaking of last episodes, Loki, if you did not catch Loki this week, what? I am also still working on Yellowstone, and starting this coming week, I promised it, but it is going to come. 1883 is going to be premiered. I'm watching that either later tonight or tomorrow. So the Yellowstone spinoffs I will be getting to as well. What else have I been watching? I think that, oh, and The Expanse, of course, The Expanse. So many from you from The Expanse. I just watched one last night. It's percolating somewhere. Slugs, you all, toxic slugs. That's where we're going. Wow. So what do I have going forward coming up in the future? We have Reacher season 2 dropping soon. I am still shocked that people are watching my Reacher videos from 2 years ago, but that series was great. Also another one, if you haven't checked it out. Alan Richardson is really interesting in that role. He is Reacher, and I'm so excited that they brought a good Reacher to the screen. Tom was okay, but those weren't Reacher shows. What else do we have coming? Invincible season 2 is coming. Season 1 I did watch thoroughly. And I'm excited to now be a part of the season 2 community coming out. I did watch the Adam Eve special, so if you haven't caught the reaction to that, that is on there as well. And then I would like to do a few more movies. The holiday seasons are coming up. I want to do something kind of light and fluffy. So I'm thinking of watching Paddington and Paddington 2, because I've heard so much about Paddington 2, and it's something I never thought I would watch. Gonna give that a go. And then, of course, the Indian and Bollywood, Tollywood films. Yeah, never thought I would be as popular in India as I have been seen based on my statistics. And I know everybody wants me to watch them more frequently, than once or twice every few months. They are so long and they take me so many days to put together that really I can't do them every month. It's just too busy. But I would like to watch more going forward. Every film that has been suggested to me has been outstanding, interesting, intriguing. They're just really long. And they take days. But based on a suggestion, I do have a playlist of just the Indian films I've watched so far. So if you haven't seen any, check them out. And also check out the original content because they're really well done. Hello, Jesse. Thank you for being here. What else? Oh, and Matthew. I think Matthew Alexander, dig your last name. So I'm going to answer a few questions that had been asked to me earlier on YouTube, if I can get that open now. So Raymond Amador, 1487, has been a frequent commenter I've seen before, had asked me, how do I select my shows? I know that Expanse was a Patreon suggestion. You don't want to get typecast into a certain genre like Western, so how do I make sure that I have a well-rounded channel? There are some shows I'm going to watch just because I'm going to watch them. I love to watch them. Pretty much anything MCU, I'm going to watch. I also wanted to watch some shows that were really popular 10, 20 years ago that I never had the opportunity to watch. That's where True Blood came into play. That's how I got into Firefly. And because of Firefly, everybody who watched Firefly kept recommending The Expanse over and over and over and over again. So I try to balance shows that I want to watch, shows that were popular at one point in time or are going to be popular, and then also how many episodes are in it. I can't watch 3 shows that are 80 episodes in their content because that takes years. I think True Blood took just about a year to get all the way through those episodes. The Expanse will probably take a little bit less than a year. So I kind of try to balance a little bit of everything, also different genres. Sometimes there was like a spot in time where I had dark drama, and it was a lot. That's why I saved The Last of Us. Oh yeah, The Last of Us. That's why I saved until, well, it was going to be the summer, but while it was light outside, because I can't just do heavy, dark, and still be kind of upbeat. So that's how I pick my shows. And I'm hoping a lot of you all have given me tons of suggestions about shows going forward. Gen V, I don't know if I want to watch Gen V or not for the channel. Yeah, so keep bringing me suggestions. I may take you up on them and I might push them off, or I might go, yeah, no, that's not for me at all. Raymond Amador also asked, when am I getting a P.O. box? I didn't think I would need a P.O. box. I didn't know y'all wanted to send me things. But that is going to be on the list for 2024. I'm actually moving next summer, so I don't know where I'm going to end up. So I want to pick a spot that might be central to a lot of places so I don't have to keep moving the P.O. box, but that will be something in 2024. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know when I have one ready to go. Matthew, Mad Men and Downton Abbey. Oh yeah, I missed Downton Abbey. I was having kids then. I'm intrigued and get scared about Downton Abbey because I heard it's excellent, but then I also heard some storylines went because of certain actors and outside of the show politics affecting the show. That could be a good one. And then Mad Men. Oh, I don't know about Mad Men. We shall see. We shall see. Let's see here. We also had Sam Wannabe 2731 asked me, okay, I always wanted to ask you, Suki versus Elena versus Bella. What's my ranking of them as why? Okay, so if you're vampire show people, Suki's True Blood, Elena is Vampire Diaries, Bella is Twilight. And when I think about them, they all are levels of kind of meh to me. Those shows, I enjoyed the supporting people way more than the main characters, if I'm going to rank them, I'm going to put Bella at the bottom, only because she has very little life experience and she barely graduated high school. Her community was pretty narrowed and focused. She didn't really have any real life out experience. She didn't really bring a lot to the table. So I'm going to put her at the bottom. Elena and Suki kind of go back and forth, but I'm going to put Suki second because she should have real life experience, especially being able to read people's minds. She should know who's who and what's what and be a little bit more aware of her surroundings and make better choices, and she didn't. Whereas Elena was also a high school kid, so her life experience was limited, but she made slightly better choices than Suki. So I would have to go Elena, Suki, and Bella. Interesting question there. Thank you. Tez, Interview with the Vampire at AMC. Yes, that's what I'm interested in, and I just got access to the Interview with the Vampire series, so that might be something, and that's also a nice tight one season so far. That might be something that's late winter that I might dive into. Oh, let's see. I had another question from Morgan R. Hayes. How do I deal with writer's block? I start YouTube channels. that's how I deal with writer's block. I could go off about this one for a while. I will try to keep it condensed. So writer's block. I think the first thing you need to look at is, what are you writing and why? Are you writing for enjoyment, for fun, because it interests you? Or are you on a job and you have to write to meet a deadline? Either you're publishing a book or a story or a report or whatever. What are you writing and why? And it could be that you're blocked because you're not interested in what you're writing anymore. So maybe you need to step away. Maybe you need to change genres for a little bit. Are you a plotter or a pantster? If you don't know, so plotter is somebody who has to plot the whole story and then sit down and write. Pantsters are you just kind of sit down and start writing, and the story will hopefully flow out of you. I'm in the center. I'm a plotting pantster. So I have to know my twist points of where I'm going, and then I can write to those twist points. I've tried pantsing and it sucks. It doesn't work. That book was supposed to be out in the market 5 years ago, and it's not done because it's terrible. And so maybe you didn't have your story plotted out as well as you did, and that's why you're blocked. Try writing someplace new. I write sometimes in a bar. Surprise, Anna writes in a bar. I know you're not surprised at all. But yeah, so sometimes being in another environment where you're not distracted by the television or housework. Oh, I should fold the laundry instead of writing this chapter. Also, your stories are about people. So watch documentaries about people and places and jobs. Maybe you'll get inspired. And then finally, maybe the reason you're blocked is because you're not into writing anymore. It doesn't bring you joy. It's not your thing. There's a hurdle between writing for pleasure or doing any art that you enjoy and you love and you're good at or fairly decent at or have a slight talent at. And now you're going to turn it into a business and you're going to try to sell it. And that hurdle, that those two identities are so different that a lot of people I see, I'm friends with artists, my family's all artists, all my friends are writers. Going from creating to now marketing and selling, it's a hard jump. It's a hard leap. I struggle with it. So many people struggle with it. And so maybe trying to make a living off of your art doesn't bring you joy, and that's not where your passion lies. So you should maybe stop. And if you don't like writing and you want to stop writing, go ahead. Don't let other people force you to keep doing something that you once loved because you loved it and they want to support you and be encouraging. Sometimes it's just as encouraging to tell somebody to stop if it's not bringing them joy anymore. So hopefully that answered your question about writer's block. Student Foods, hello. The audio is wonky because my microphone isn't working with my laptop, and hopefully someday I will get this so the audio is better. We have another request from admin from Bruce. Hello, Bruce, I've seen you often. Thank you so much for commenting on the channel. Sam, hi. I hope I answered your question. What else did I have here? Do I miss? Oh yeah, so Sam, do I miss True Blood? Yes, I miss parts of it. Some of it, when I think about the parts I like the most about True Blood, Eric was interesting, Pam was a hoot, and I want a Pam and Eric spinoff in the 80s when they were running their video store, and I want it in the style of Miami Vice. That would be the best. That would be the best. My least favorite part of True Blood were the stack houses. Sookie and Jason, kind of, I could take them, I kind of leave them. Again, it was everybody around Sookie that was the best part of the show. Again, Tara really annoyed the hell out of me, and they did her dirty. So yeah, so there's parts of True Blood I enjoyed and parts I could have done without. Bruce. So Bruce, as I love to say when you're watching Expanse, put them on like a hold my beer. Yeah, exactly. What more? And there's another season and a half of Proto Molecule. But I love the creativity, and just I want to be in that writer's room when they're coming up with what can we throw at these people now? Toxic slugs. Okay, sure. There we go. Let's see here. Matthew says you might like the Paramount Plus Westerns, Joe Pickett and Lawman Bass Reeves. Paramount Plus, Joe Pickett, I have not heard of those. I just got Paramount Plus. All right, I wonder if there are those older shows or newer shows. My mother was a big fan of Bonanza and the Gunslinger and the Rifleman and the Virginian. So I grew up with those in the background of my house. She has all these pictures on the wall, and you think that they're of like the different actors. And I was like, "Oh, where did you buy that?" And she says, "No, I took pictures of the television screen and I framed them." And actually, her ringtone is a Virginian. So it'd be interesting if those are Wagon Train. Wagon Train messed me up as a child. There's a couple episodes on there, so I'll have to check those ones out. Sam also asked, so said, Sookie was more interesting than Elena from the Vampire Diaries. So Sookie is interesting. She had potential. And I don't think the writers gave her justice. Now, I did not read the books. One of my best friends, she read all the books, and she told me the books and the shows, you can't marry them together. So it'd be interesting to see if Sookie was written with a little bit more depth than she was with the show. That's what I say, like Sookie and Lena are kind of even up for me. Raphael, hello, Raphael. Thank you for being here. Mr. Druden, the first episode of the last season. Oh yeah, with what they did with Tara was the reason I did not continue watching. Yeah, so I said, they did her dirty, but you didn't continue watching. There was just that last little bit left. I guess that's the great thing about the internet is you can go on and see how everybody ended. Newer two show seasons from Joe Pickett, Lawman, Pastor Taylor Sheridan. Okay, so they're new shows from the Sheridan production company. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check those ones. I wonder if they're going to be like Yellowstone at all, which is, I have to bite my tongue a lot for Yellowstone because it's so fantastical and it cracks me up. Let's see here. So Dimitri asked, did the Writers Guild strike impact you? Yes and no, not really. I support the strike, both the SAG and the Writers Guild strike. I do believe creatives should be paid for their work. The whole AI controversy across all art medium is something that should be addressed now before it gets out of hand. I know in our writing community, that is a huge thing with the like I think Patterson, and I don't know if Nora Roberts was part of it, but a lot of writers are suing on behalf of authors who had their books just fed into a database and is now being used, I think, for the chat GPT. I get all the letters mixed up. So the Writers Guild strike, as far as this channel concerned, not really. But the whole thing is about promotion. So you're not supposed to promote certain works, but you can give your opinions. So I've been trying really hard just to give opinions about that specific show itself. And all those people that worked on it should be applauded for the work that they put on their shows. So it's been a balance about what I'm watching, why I'm watching, and how I'm talking about it. But I'm glad the Writers Guild got taken care of, and I hope the Actors Guild also, to have some friends who are in the Actors Guild, and everybody's struggling, and they all should be compensated for their time and for their talent as much as the studio executives, because we know where the real work comes in. Let's see here. Yellowstone, 1923. So you like the 1923. I'm looking forward to it. After 1883, I will be diving right into the 1923. And we'll see if I catch up with season 5 of Yellowstone at that same time. Let's see. Any other questions on this from earlier from live chat? No, I think that was the last one that was posted earlier. Pulpy kind of stuff. What does that mean, Bruce, with pulpy? If it's like that could mean so many things, especially after watching that last episode of Loki. Pulpy takes on a new meaning. Why won't somebody think of the, oh well, gosh, and there's a little icon over the rest of your sentence, so I can't quite read it. Let's see here. Dimitri. Studio execs. Yeah, you know how you feel about management. Let's take all the credit for everybody else's work. I think that's pretty much all I just wanted to say. Yeah, unless you all have any more questions. Kenneth, what are a few of my favorite authors? As he sneaks in a question, some of my favorite authors. The ones that really got me to, when I was a kid, I read all the time. And then I became a teenager and an adult, and I got busy, and I didn't read for the longest time. And it wasn't until, I can tell you exactly when, it was 17, 18 years ago, I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and that meant I had a day all to myself. Nobody could bother me. And so what was I going to do with my time is I started reading again. And reading made me go, oh, I love this. I used to do this all the time. So again, I'm a heavy romance author person. So my favorite authors are romance authors. Sherilyn Kenyon was a favorite. Cressley Cole, favorite. Who else? I'm trying to think. There's so many that are favorites. Karen Rose is excellent. Who does more suspense. I find I like books and genres more than actual authors. I'm trying to think who's on my shelf. Mostly it's Sherilyn Kenyon. And Cressley Cole, Alexander Ivory was a favorite. I'm trying to think. When I was little, it was Kathleen Wood was one of my favorite ones when I was younger. And it was like genre. So I love the Silhouette Desires. I love the Silhouette suspense books, the Shadows, they call their paranormal stories, the Zebra books. So basically anything romance I would get my hand on. So those were my favorite authors. I read some Dan Brown, more of the other commercial fiction, I don't read a whole lot of. And because when I started writing more and started doing YouTube more, I started reading less. So I haven't read anything really decent lately, and I would like to get back into that, but there's not enough hours in the day. I smoke and I know things. It's like I drink and I know things shirt that I have. I just love your Last of Us reaction videos. Thank you so much. I love doing The Last of Us, even though it terrifies me, and you know it terrifies me. I get way too distracted about what my brain thinks is going to happen, and I can't turn that off. People say stop doing that. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I appreciate that I can watch it again and again when I edit it and notice different things when you're only looking at like 5 or 10 seconds at a time. And that the last episode I watched with David, I can't remember, the title of the show was a little bit longer, the specific episode, like When in Need, he shows Provide or something like that. I think that's so far my favorite episode of the series. for several different things, and I can't wait to watch the finale this weekend. Frozen Herald, Mayor of Kingston is an excellent Taylor Sheridan project about to start season 3. Oh, okay. Mayor of Kingstown was a Sheridan project. I did not know that. So Somebody Somewhere is a great show to check it out. I've not heard of that, so I'll have to look it up and see what that one's about. JCD, what is your favorite genre of movies and TV shows? So, favorite genre of movies. I think somebody asked also about genres, and I might have missed it. Dimitri, how do I feel about comedies? Red Dwarf is an old sci. I've heard of Red Dwarf from the 80s all the way to 2000. Is that Rowan Atkinson, maybe? Okay, those are two different questions, but very similar. So I will try to answer them both. Favorite genres of movies? I like things that are quicker paced. So whatever genre that might be, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy things with really witty dialogue, love dialogue, and if it has some action to it, and I think that's interesting about action, because action doesn't necessarily mean fisticuffs or fast car, although I love a good car chase scene. Action just means something that kind of skips along. I like it to hold my attention, and there is a beauty of a scene where nothing is happening. You're just getting sweeping landscapes, but it has to be balanced. There's a fine line between boring and interesting and just being reflective. So it could be any genre. I've been watching a lot of the sci-fi and westerns lately because I never watched those before. So it's something new that I'm getting into. But I do enjoy comedies. I love comedy. I watch comedy shows all the time, whether it's stand-up comedians or just comedy series. So Red Dwarf, though, is a British comedy from the 80s, and British comedy is different than American comedy. Not that it's bad, it's just different. You have to put yourself in a different space. I wouldn't say it's less slapstick. There's just a different vibe to it. It can be very droll. I'm not going to say it's smarter, maybe a little bit more cerebral. The punchline might not be so obvious. So Red Dwarf, I think, was one of those. I think I have to be in a mood in. I have to be ready for that content. So yeah, so I like all sorts of different genres. So Bruce, I have warmed up to The Last of Us. Yes, I have warmed up. I was never cold. I was just tense. That makes a difference. And also Bodies was interesting on Netflix. Bodies. I think that's a newer show. I'll have to look into that one as well. Watch Coupling. I did not watch Coupling. I think, was Coupling the Friends? Was it the Friends spinoff? Or not the Friends spinoff, but the British version of Friends. I think it might be it. Gabe, hello. Thank you for being here for the first live chat. I hope I've kept you entertained on this Saturday. It's Halloween weekend. I'm not doing anything for Halloween. I'm kind of sad about that because I used to go to some epic Halloween parties, and then COVID happened, and the trapeze place, I don't even know it's still open. But so I hope you all are doing fun things for Halloween. And it'll be interesting to know who in my viewership celebrates Halloween and how you celebrate it. That's been the fun thing about doing this channel, is watching shows and then seeing people from different parts of the world explain why that's a thing there or why it's not a thing there. And it's been fascinating learning about the world. A little smarter than Friends. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But I'm trying to think what else. I think that's all that I wanted to say, except also just say again, thank you so much for being with me. Gabe turned in here from Philippines, 500 subscriber. Oh, Hawkeye. Oh, thanks. Hawkeye was great. I loved Hawkeye. And happy that we actually saw an Avenger who had some collateral damage to their body from their job. I think that was the most interesting part of Hawkeye. And then the LARPing scene. That was great. So Dream Fuzz, living in Germany, Halloween is usually not a thing here. I can see that. I can see that. I was in Scotland many years ago, and I know Germany and Romania are not the same place, but they're close, geographically closer. And there was a gentleman I was sitting by at a comedy club in Scotland, and he had just come back from Romania. And I was like, and I go, oh, do they have comedy clubs in Romania? He goes, no, they don't have humor. So I could see Germany maybe somewhat similar as far as not necessarily finding joy in dressing up and having some drinks and eating some candy. But if you do, I would love to know the customs of the Halloween season there. Elena, I'm in Alabama. We tour haunted plantation homes. Ah, I live in a haunted house. This house is haunted. I've been to a few in Texas and New Orleans. So that, Alabama, ooh, I don't know what kind of ghosts you have in Alabama, but that should be interesting. Thank you, Bruce. I hope the proto molecule enjoys me as well. Gabe, how do I know what happens in certain big cities in the Philippines? And if you did not know, Gabe, I am actually Filipino. My grandfather was from the Philippines who came here in the United States in the 1930s. So my maiden name is Filipino. My brother and sister, they're a little bit darker than I am, and they have the flatter Filipino nose. I've got the Scottish nose, but they have the more flatter Filipino nose. So I'm glad I have somebody in the Philippines. Kimuk, being from Germany. Oh my gosh, some more Germany people. Hi. You're so much fun. You're so much fun. Thank you. I appreciate you're also kind of an advocate for folks like my son on the spectrum. Oh, well, thank you so much. I don't know how I am an advocate, but I'm glad that I am. I know it's tough and it's difficult. My youngest, has had some, I don't want to say issues, but there's slightly, there's a mindset, there's a way you have to approach things. And yeah, so I'm glad, thank you. Thank you for the comment very much. Mr. Drudenfus again, dressing up in candy is a carnival thing that happens. Carnival thing, a carnival thing, like, okay, so you say carnival and I hear something else in my head. So maybe what we think of is that like a party? Because we think carnival is rides and games and popcorn and cheeseburgers. It's the carnival. Okay. My vision turns green, you'll know you're loved. Gabe, I don't know. I don't know Tagalog though. Thanks. Milena, read 13 Alabama Ghosts. Is that gonna scare me? Will that keep me up at nights? I hope it's a short read. JC, being a romance writer, assumed romance would be my favorite genre. It is. I do enjoy romance. That's why a lot of people were surprised I had never seen Outlander. And that's because I was having kids and writing, and I didn't have stars. That's another thing, is all these pay-per-view channels do keep a lot of people away from their content, and I find that sad, and I wish it wasn't so. So that's what kept me away from Outlander for so long, was not having stars or Netflix. But I do enjoy Outlander, although it drives me insane sometimes. Mr. Kamak, love your reactions. Thank you so much. Sarbani, hello, Enterprises. Just watch your reaction from Anundam. Love from India. Hello, India people. That was a crazy one. Oh, that's been also the fun thing about watching a lot of these shows, especially the Indian movies, is then my dad will ask me, what have you been watching? And I'll tell him. And so he'll go now, and him and my mom are watching a lot of the Indian movies as well and enjoying them. The only bad thing is my mom can't hear so well. And so she has to have on the subtitles, and she doesn't see so well. So it takes her a lot longer to watch some of these Indian films with the subtitles. But now you all introducing me to them, I'm now introducing them to my family, and they are enjoying them as well. More like Mardi Gras. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I would love to check it out because I enjoy Mardi Gras. Again, I know you're surprised. Not. So it looks like we're getting some more interest in 13 Alabama Goes. Science, Life, and Health. Hi, dear. How did you get into the Indian movies? Love your genuine reactions as always. Thank you. You should also start reacting Bollywood songs. Love from Bollywood songs. Oh, okay. So I have seen in the past a few Bollywood videos, and I never knew what the context was. It's a thing. It's a thing. So I got into Indian movies by watching, I think it was RRR. And it's on Netflix, and it was really big on Netflix. And that trailer, how could you watch that trailer and then not want to know what the movie was about? And then doing RRR, got introduced to Bahubali, and then the mile-long recommendations of different movies. So that's how I got into them. And I want to continue, and I plan on continuing them. It's just not going to be as fast as you want it all to be. Came up carnivals in February, and with costumes, candy, alcohol, big parades, and is one of the reasons Halloween is not so big here in Germany. How could you not want a party? That sounds amazing. Yeah, I smoke and I know things. I'm reading Harry Potter all the way through for the first time. Wow, because I was busy raising kids when all the books, movies came out. And I feel you. One, welcome to the Potterverse. And two, I totally understand. I did not read the books because I was having kids when the movies came out. And then I thought, oh, I'll wait until my children are older and we will read the books together. And then the fourth movie came out, Goblet of Fire. And as I left that theater, I went, oh, I can't wait. I'll have to wait forever before they're old enough before we can start reading this, because this is now not for little children. So I got the books, and I think I read them all in 3 weeks. I read the Deathly Hallows, went to the Midnight Leaves with my mother, because my mother read the Harry Potter books before anybody had heard of them. I remember her going, hey, I just found these books. And she told me the entire first story. And then it was maybe 3 months later when the third book came out and they took off. So welcome to the Potterverse. I hope you enjoy yourself. And surprise not, I'm a Slytherin. There you go. Okay, nearly about a month long, but 1 week is especially with big events. Excellent. Okay, that was the greeting. How are you? Okay. And I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. Kababayan, compatriot. Kababayan. Kababayan. Thank you, sir. Well, how are you? I'm fine. Still a little apprehensive and nervous about this whole live chat thing, but I'm doing well. Thank you. Dogs or cats? Dogs or cats? Here's the thing. It depends on the dog, and it depends on the cat, because I've met some really great dogs and cats, and I've met some really asshole dogs and cats. I don't have any because I have a lifestyle that isn't really good for having a pet. I'm always gone. So I couldn't give them the time and the attention they need. My first job was working when I was 14 in my aunt's dog grooming shop. I had to wash and dry dogs. So there's some breeds I enjoy, and there's some breeds that are poodles. Me and poodles, never. No. No. So yeah, both. I enjoy both. It depends on the personality of the pet. I smoke and I know things from Michiana, on the Michigan side of Michigan Indian border, just north of South Bend, Indiana. Michiana. Wow, they went hard for that name. Okay, like Halloween is just a day and Carnival's a month, so it beats it all the time. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, Jess. Thanks, Jess. Poodles are evil. Here's the thing about poodles. When you are grooming a poodle, you have to brush their fur from the skin out absolutely straight. Because if it's not straight, then they can't get the proper shape when they do the haircut. And poodles don't like to sit to be dried. So that's why they're not no thank you. All colors are welcome. Yes, we are one Hogwarts. I know my children are all Hufflepuffs. Go figure. More Ravenclaws. Awesome. Which is the most liked Indian movie of all that I've reacted to? Most liked Indian movie. I think the one that I've liked the most, I think, okay, so RRR will always have a special place because it was like the real first one, and it was just 3 hours of what is happening. But the one that I think has been most impactful that I will think about all the time is Three Idiots because it was so unexpected. I didn't know where those journeys will take us, and the All Is Well. How can you not think about All Is Well? So I think Three Idiots is the one that I've enjoyed, or it's been the most impactful and memorable to me. I think Danielle, though, as far as on the channel, I think Danielle might be closing in. I think it's gotten the most views in the shortest amount of time in any of the Indian films that I've watched. Let's see here. Seems like Germans here all Ravenclaw. That is interesting. Wonder if that's a true statistic or not. Zerny. Sorry I'm late. I had a visitor. Hello, Mr. Zerny. Nice to see you, or Mr. Ms. I should never just say, I always say Mr. for everybody. It's something I've done as a child. So hello, thank you for being here. I'm scared of dogs, too much scary encounters. I keep my distance. Again, depends on the pet. We had, where I work, animal control comes in, and they brought in a little Yorkie. It was so cute, and it was so scared. It had been abandoned and left behind, and the animal control officer didn't want to leave it in the car, so he asked me to watch him for an hour. And I'm not normally a Yorkie person, but this one was adorable. So yeah, depends on the dog. Okay, how about Arcane? Arcane, visually stunning, beautiful. The animation, I think, was my favorite part of the whole show. Story was great and it was interesting. Not how I would have told it, but that's me. It's not my story to tell. So there were some elements that made it difficult for me to root for some characters. The most interesting thing is the Arcane fans are hardcore fans, and it becomes a balance between letting somebody enjoy something on their own and then telling them how to enjoy it, or they should be. So yeah, so Arcane, I enjoy it, but I'm scared to watch it sometimes. But I don't want to be scared off from watching it. Don't scare me off from watching it. I'll keep watching it, but I'm going to watch it my own way. K-Muck, I grew up with budgies, and now I have some again. I'm more of a bird person. Wow, bird people, you are special people, because having a bird as a pet, that's not for everyone. I'm not a mister, but I don't mind getting called one. But if someone calls me dude, then they better hand me a white Russian. We can try to make that happen. I'm a dog whisperer. I've only been bitten once by an employer's toy poodle. I swear I was demonically possessed. Again, as my aunt always says, it's not the dog, it's the owner. Because again, your owner, you train your dogs. There's a combination there. I think Nick Offerman deserves some sort of award for his performance in The Last of Us. Nick Offerman was amazing in The Last of Us. There was so many micro things that he did that, again, that second, sometimes you saw it obviously, like when he bit into that strawberry for the first time, that brought tears to my eyes. Just, that's a scene that I think of often. I'll just be somewhere, and every time I see a strawberry now, I think of the way he laughed, cried when he bit into it. But yeah, so watching that episode and again, just the small little tiny flips of the face and whatnot. He was excellent in that role. And I find Nick Offerman interesting all around as a human being. Oh, yes, that wasn't directed at me. Am I German? Part German. If you're asking me, part German. So if you're wondering where my family came from, on my mom's side, German, from my grandfather, Scotch Irish from my grandmother, Filipino from my other grandfather, and Puerto Rican from my grandmother. But you've heard me talk about my Puerto Rican grandmother before because she's still around. She's not crazy. Ravenclaws, they're in the house. So every time I say that's all I have to say, you all start asking me more questions. But it's been, 46 minutes, which is a lot longer than I thought this chat was going to go. So I'm going to let you all enjoy your Saturday. I think this will be available to watch later. Sam's asking me another question. Yeah, walk my dog real quick. Would I ever react to old shows like Sons of Anarchy or Lost? Sons of Anarchy, maybe. I'm scared of that show because of certain, I don't know how I'll feel. That's one of those shows like Last of Us where I'll have to be in a good frame of mind because I know it can get really dark. The funny thing is also I have friends who are in a motorcycle club. He's actually a sergeant at arms, master arms. So I will sometimes ask him things about motorcycle clubs and whatnot. I know a lot of the show is made up, but some of it isn't. And being around the motorcycle club community, the few times that I have been, I don't know if I can watch Sons of Anarchy and then meet up with them again, but I'm interested in that one. Lost, I will not react to only because I've seen enough of it and I've seen the last episode. And I know the middle is really saggy. So if Lost would be, I think there's so many other great shows. There would have to be nothing for me to be available to watch or get into Lost because I know how it begins. I saw the first episode and I saw the last episode. So I know about Lost. Oh my gosh, y'all popped up on stuff. Nice to meet you too, Jess. It was Jess. Since I have stars and romance, I should check out Black Sails. Black Sails is one that I've heard of. And somebody has recommended that to me as well, Holly. That might be on the list. That might be a spring or winter list. I may have to make a list, a good one, and not this one, and get back to some of those shows. And at the end is a love story. Oh, another pirate love story. I know Our Flag Means Death. My youngest adores it. We saw Reese last spring at Comic-Con. My kids got their picture with them. That might be on the list someday as well. Good night, Gabe. Have sweet dreams. Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time. I am very familiar. Oh, I don't have it with me. Once Upon a Time was a show I watched, I adored. I've got Hook paraphernalia all over the place, so I wouldn't be watching Once Upon a Time because I already know it. And again, I also had a saggy middle. Not so great with the last season, but I enjoyed it. Thank you for interacting with us. I appreciate you as well. Bruce, hold my beer. I'm going to be drinking later. It's my friend's birthday. It will not be beer. It will probably be whiskey. Just check out my Instagram, annaM.Alexander. You'll see what I'm drinking tonight. I would love Sons of Anarchy. Lost is your favorite. I'm glad Lost is your favorite, and I'm sorry I will not be watching it. But I'm glad it's your favorite. Have a great weekend. Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin dagger earrings. Oh, that would be great. When Once Upon a Time first came out at Comic-Con, was one of the set designers for the show, and he said that Robert Carlyle is as big of a badass as you expect him to be. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So it's 12:30 Indian time. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. So yes, waiting for my extra action. I will do one, I promise. Take care. Season 7 was not good. No, it was not for Once Upon a Time. So all you all in India who are watching me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you will get more Indian content. I don't know what I'm watching yet. So I'll have to take everyone's suggestions and then I'll put up a poll on YouTube because there's so many suggestions. Okay, so for reals now, it's going in on almost an hour. I'm gonna change shirts and watch 1883. And then, oh, you're an Egyptian. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so I'm gonna let you go for reals all. And thank you so much for being here for my first live chat. Keep commenting, keep making suggestions, and I will talk to you all soon. Happy Saturday. Okay, we're ending